You know what time it is.
We're motherfucking out
so
here,
quiet,
bruv.
huh?
It is a bit quiet.
It's the little knob, isn't it?
Maybe.
Isn't it the red one? I don't know.
I don't know either. Doesn't really matter. It's fine for now. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great start to this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back.
Yep.
We love you guys.
This is the podcast.
It might also be just the volume on the computer's down. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Hey. We're gonna restart that. Just kidding.
And we're back.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Producers Lounge, episode number 32.
32, baby.
We are, of course, brought to you by Always 400.
Yep. That's us. What's up?
And we are your
.com.
hosts. Always400.com for sure, dude.
Yep.
Big ups.
Always.
Big ups. Go support the homies. They're a local company. They're doing great.
Denver based.
Yeah, and they're helping us put this on. It's great. It's a good time. I of course am Caleb. This is Dave and Austin. We are your hosts of the Producer Lounge. And today we have something special. Something we kind of put together maybe kind of a little bit for you.
Yeah. Gonna teach you how to body massage with the low end.
As always.
Right. 400.
Yeah, we have a list. Long
Also,
list.
before we get started, shout out
Double kitty.
to our boy GS5 Music for the sub.
Dude, you are killing it.
Thank you, sir.
Constantly
five.
dropping those.
GS5. Thank you,
Just
sir.
five.
Thank you for the sub. GS5.
Just
We appreciate you.
if you pronounce 5 like an S.
Sub bombs.
Boom.
Dude, just dropping some sub bombs.
Dude,
Sub drops all day.
We're learning together. What we need is one of those also on all the mics, so at any random point we can just.
Oh, right.
Be kind
Oh,
of fun.
reverb.
Just,
Yeah.
reverb
Yeah.
send it.
For random things. So, we want to discuss a little bit about the bottom end of your mix
That low.
That's right.
and ways to improve it, ways to look at it better, ways to wrap your head around it, ways to tuck it in at night,
Mm-hmm. Ways to keep it clean.
ways to keep it clean.
No one wants a dirty low end. You know?
No.
It's
you want-
unattractive.
No. Yes. Yeah, you don't want that cellulite
Mm.
cottage cheese shit. No. You want it
Or
firm.
just that shit.
Everybody's looking for it. Look, it's no secret. Everybody wants a nice slapping low end.
You don't want a cellulite sub.
Yeah.
No cellulite subs. None of that shit.
Yeah, there's one
Hashtag
thing
that.
you can know for sure when you got your low end nice and clean, it slaps.
100%.
Yeah.
It slaps better. Like you can hear it. You
Yeah.
know, there's just less cellulite in the way of the slap.
Slapatron.
5,000.
Which is our first lesson. Keep it clean and
Yeah, how can we keep
it'll
it
slap hard.
clean, Dave?
Yeah.
What are some?
Okay, we should not start with how do we keep the low end clean, but
Sure. How do you want to start it?
well, let's talk about what low end is. What are we talking about? We're talking about
What's our
those
frequency range?
very, very low frequencies, maybe something in the range of 0 to 0 is like a really low frequency though.
Yeah.
Down there, your 20s
Yeah, I can.
to
30.
up to like 80, 100,
Yeah.
something like that.
Bleeding into 120 probably,
Yeah,
depending on your
yeah,
curve. How you
exactly.
listen to it.
And the low end, what it does is you feel it more than you hear it,
Sure.
you know? And the higher up you go, you start to hear things more. But when you're down in those super low ranges,
Yeah, it's all pressure.
yeah. It's one of the reasons why when you hit one of those 80 hertz boys, it really hits you hard.
It rattles
you're,
you.
You're hearing it and you're feeling it at the same time.
Right. You're getting a little bit of the tonal shift through the air. And then you're also just getting yeah, you're also just getting rumbly bumbly. You know?
That's right.
It's a good time.
That's right.
So that's the low end. What's up? Sump RT
Oh, the legend is back.
with the Raptor.
Oh, no frogs today, huh?
No.
You got a raptor army?
Although from far away, it kind of just looks like a trout jumping out of the water to me.
Yeah.
If you squint your eyes good enough, you know.
Welcome, homie. We're talking about subs and low end today. It's gonna be a good time.
Some low end.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's right.
So that's the range, basically 0 or 20 or whatever, all the way to 100. Let's say. Let's just kind of make it a good number.
Yeah.
It's a thing that we always strive to be really good at. We're making dance music. You got to keep that low end tight and right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen, brother. Amen.
it's hard to do. It'll really drive you crazy sometimes if you're actually trying, and it can be a little bit tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But we got some tricks. We got some tips for you.
Oh yeah.
How do we start this? Should we start out with just a general building of a sub tutorial? Typically, you're going to use a sine wave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want a low end piece because you're looking for a singular node down there. If you use a saw wave, obviously you get harmonics all the way up.
Right. But there's a little more entailed with using a saw wave as your sub,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
which
it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. I would reach for a square more often if I'm doing if I wanted to fulfill a sub and a bass sound in like a house track, like a dum 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 dum, whatever. It's
A little donker.
pretty simple. Yeah, basically a little donker.
Bass.
And but normally if I'm using like a sub to act as a sub underneath other mid-range bass sounds or things like that, yeah, it's got to be a sine, and I'll just distort it to the level of presence that I need.
Yeah, that's like an important thing to think about is what are you pairing with the sub?
Right. It's huge.
It's going to tell you what you can do with the sub.
Right. Application. What are you using it for? Are you using it for layering? These are questions that you have to ask as you're moving along.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to switch over here into Bitwig here, folks. Wow, look at that. It's so fast. Okay.
Just like that. Oh.
Move us down here. Sorry, we're going to get out of the way. I'm going to hide behind this A.
Oh, hey, what's up?
So this is phase plant. If you don't know what phase plant is, I'm sorry.
Get a life.
Look at
Kilohearts.
Kilohearts.
Go look at Kilohearts, yeah.
But you can subscribe and you get their whole thing. It's
the GOAT.
Yeah, it is the GOAT. It's the
insane.
best synthesizer. Watch this.
You want a good synthesizer?
I'm gonna
use
add.
this boy.
I'm gonna add oscillators. Oh look, I'm just adding oscillators.
Wait,
Ad
you can
infinitum.
add that? Wait, how many can you even add?
A noise
How
one.
many can
Wait,
you add?
what?
A sampler.
Does it do wavetable?
A wavetable.
Oh my god!
Another wavetable. All right, that's too many.
Yo, fucking Dreamer Boy dropping the faux hunas. What's up?
Let's go,
What's up,
Dreamer
homie?
Boy.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
What do you say? It's 99 ducks right now. I don't know what that means. Oh, with all our oscillators. Attaboy. Well,
99
either
ducks.
way, with these
But a
oscillators,
Raptor ain't one.
that's right. You got to have a little out. So it's basically what this synthesizer is trying to do is it's being like a little modular platform. It's like a little software version of a modular playground. So I just added this little oscillator. He has his output, and he's in this group. I like how you can drag things so that people can see what you're on. So I'm going to add another group, and in that group,
Sick.
I'm going to add another analog and an output. So now I have two identical oscillators. This one I'm going to turn off for right now.
$99 is steal for this synthesizer.
And, 100%. Excuse me.
Kind of scared me, actually. I wasn't ready.
That's my melody.
All right, that's a saw wave.
All good. Gonna lurk. You fucking lurk, bro. Do what you got to do.
Lurk Squad.
So,
Right back at you.
Thanks, man.
So we'll do this so people can hear it instead of going all the way low. Because unless you got good headphones, like I can hear that.
I can hear
That
it.
sounds great in my headphones.
Oh,
Well,
Is
we'll
that
we'll
F
have a
or
good
E?
demonstration on why you're going to do what you're going to do here too, with that exact thing
that's
in
true.
mind.
That's true. So another thing I want to pull up real quick is an Aussie.
and I'll say,
I'm gonna pull up a quick Aussie, eh? You know?
You know?
I'm starting to get better at putting the R on the end of those.
You
Yeah,
know?
you know?
just throw ours in anywhere.
It's kind of an RA. You know? You kind of have to.
Neuro?
You have to like lean up. You
You
know?
know?
Okay.
You
So
know?
now let's dial this Aussie in here.
Oh, you go for a fast
Where's
one.
This? Can I gain this?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
All right. Can everybody see that on Twitch? I assume you can. Let me move the.
does it have an
Yeah, you
option
can
to
see
just
it.
like hold it in place, kind of thing?
No, not really.
There is.
Damn.
There is?
Yeah. I think maybe the piano.
Oh,
There's ways to do it. It's kind of tricky to work this oscillator, honestly. But you kind of get the idea there.
yeah,
That kind of does it.
yeah. Either way, doesn't really
Okay.
matter.
All right. So you can barely hear that. It's like, okay, there we go. It's just a normal sine wave. So this, if you know who Mr. Bill is, he has a sub video. Go check it out. And
Yeah, it's sick.
it's similar to what we're gonna do right
It's
now.
kind of
We're
where
just
we
gonna do
learned this idea.
a quick version of this. So I'm gonna add a second sub that's an octave up from the first. You can already kind of see our waveform starting to do some fun things, including clipping. That might just be our.
It just can't see past it. It's not
Right.
actually clipping.
So
Clipping the oscillator.
right. So now, the thing to do is to mess with our phase. So I'm gonna move the smaller
now you have
sine wave.
2 oscillators playing right next to each other. They're both in the exact same phase right now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're both playing on top of each other, basically.
Yep. A little bit quieter second one,
Mhm.
and it's an octave up.
69%, of course.
Hey.
And yes, it's an octave up. So now I'm going to fuck with the phase, which I've usually found on average, like somewhere between like 68 and like 78 is usually where I end up finding my
I
favorite
like that
spot.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it a lot. So here you can see this is like the one of the most extremes of this effect. So now our one sine wave that did just come up now continues to stay up higher in amplitude before it falls.
Yeah, so the top side is getting a little bit more phased, and then
Correct.
it's doubling up down at the low end, or the
Right.
bottom
right.
side of that oscillation.
We'll keep switching it around.
So the way Mr. Bill likes to explain this is louder for longer.
Correct.
So the more like area you have filled up with a waveform of some sort, the more louder it is. If you play a really, really, really short singular noise, it does not sound as loud as it sounds if you play it for a long amount of time.
Right.
Which is his theory on this. So when you add this extra waveform, what you get is like a little bit of double up on that sub wave. So it's giving you, right now it's a little wonky for sure, but when you dial it right, you can get that up and down to be a lot more on either side and less of the
Right.
kind of static middle.
And the key
I'm
what
not
you
sure
can
I'm
do.
exactly quite getting it there. Hey, there we go. We're getting a little bit better.
The key is now, because I have it set at phase at 78, now I'm just turning down the second oscillator we have at an octave up so that I can just slightly dial
So you
her
can
in.
notice that it's a little bit longer on one side than the other, which is fine. You're getting a little more of the speaker being away from that center point, the neutral point.
So watch this oscillator. That's our normal sine. Now we'll add the second one. And you can immediately see how it cut us off a little bit, but now it's staying louder for longer before it drops back down for its second part of the cycle. So this now, you can already hear it better on the headphones.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. Can you pull up a spectrum so we can see it that way?
Oh, yeah.
Of course I
A spectrum's going to really,
Of
really
course.
show off what's going on in the frequency spectrum, obviously.
Show off.
Damn.
Let's get some settings here.
Yeah, make it tight.
No slope. Whoa, too much.
There we go.
Okay. Isn't there a way? There we go. Hold. So now you can see here's our two oscillators, basically. We'll turn the second one off.
Right. So we're adding that little extra octave up.
Mm-hmm. And it's at 21%, and it still is coming through pretty prominently.
Yeah, which just makes it easier for you to hear because you can't really. What is that octave up sitting at, frequency-wise? Sitting at like 70, 60?
A 65.5.
65. And what is it? What note are you
Oh,
playing?
E. It's got to be E.
I'm playing.
37, yeah.
I think I'm playing C.
Oh, you're at C?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
more sense to
C.
me. It's
Oh, okay.
really,
C.
really low. This is about as low as you really need to ever make a sub.
Right.
I mean, make them lower. For sure. Fuck everybody off, but
Yeah, fuck it. Right?
nobody's going to hear it
Yeah.
if you do.
Speakers aren't going to produce it, but whatever. Have fun with
it's
it.
also going to take up
But
huge amounts of real estate in your frequency spectrum.
correct. I can hear this, though.
The lower you go, the harder it is to mix in other shit with it. Because it just takes up more space.
Right. 100%.
Was that a B? Did you play a B?
Bandwidth.
Yeah, I was playing a B.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're basically just adding that. I mean, I feel like I could even dial this down.
Same. Yeah.
Like
Just the smallest amount
5,
goes a
6,
long
6%.
And that's what's nice about like adding your own harmonics in is you have that control over it. You don't have to like EQ and push it down and pull up all the time.
Right, you're not
Whereas like when
pulling
you're just
a
storing,
sub.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You're in
you have
control.
so much more
100%.
control.
And this is like a good intro for people who want to do like additive synthesis,
Yeah,
because all you need is two. Like you're just making your base sub, and then you're just adding a little flavor on top to help it punch through a little bit more. And now you can kind of fuck with distortion and a bunch of other little flavorful things to just make your own.
yeah.
So you can make your own instead of having to pull your fucking subs from Splice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pull your subs from Splice, guys.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
Sometimes they'll have 808s.
It can be fun.
Right. Sometimes they'll have good 808s, but when it comes to like a sub that I need rock solid at the bottom of my track, you know, like I want it to, I have to tailor it specifically to the track most of the time if I'm making a sub like this. That's not an 808. It's used to glue a bunch of other bass sounds together in the mid-range.
Totally.
And kind of just add weight to the overall mix. I have to be in full control. I can't just fucking have a sample. I don't know what it's going to do with its attack and all that other shit. Like I need complete. And I like this because then I have 8 macros I can also just do myself, which I'll do a lot for like attack time and release. So that way I can turn the sub into a sub drop with just like a twist of a macro. Now
Let's
it has
go.
now it
Let's
has
go.
attack, or you know, not just attack, but a pitch envelope basically.
Right.
You know, you can do all sorts of shit just inside Phase Plant
Totally.
and fucking
What's up,
make it all
Russ?
sick.
How you
What
doing,
up,
man?
Russ?
Hey,
Let's
Russ
go.
in the building.
We're talking subs tonight.
That's
Talking
right.
subs.
And we're not talking about just subscribing to this channel.
Yep. Yep.
Have you played around with Phase 4 much yet? I've been relying on that for bass sounds more and more. It
is a lot of fun.
I haven't fucked with Phase 4. I'm still kind of in poly. Is it
Polysynth?
Polysynth? Yeah, I'm still going through them one by one, kind of like exploring them for utilitarian purposes.
I will use Phase 4 if I want some sort of a wobbly kind of a noise. I like that. So it has modulation, like operator, or you can do this in Phase Plant, obviously. And then it has the ability to modulate how much of the modulation you're doing. So you could sit there and go, add a bunch of modulation until you get a bunch of harmonics, and then you can modulate all of the modulation that you're doing on the very far left there. There's that mod knob. No, on the very far left.
Oh.
There's your master area.
Oh, you're talking about this.
So you can go and, yeah, exactly. You can go and change the master shape for every single oscillator on there, and then all the individual mod channels as well. And you can find some nice little vibey spots in there. So set everything to a thing, and then go and mess with those little settings there.
Which now you should be able to get. Yeah.
Dribble.
You put dribble on this bitch, and you have it fucking bounce around.
Oh, what? How fun is that?
Just change the
you got to
envelope
do
or
too
whatever
much stuff, but
to get it to have
it's
fun.
super fun.
Yeah,
I was fucking with the other day.
So
Shout
creative,
out
I
Bitwig
love it.
4.1.
Let's
Wow.
go, Bitwig.
So
Anyway,
that's what I'll do for a basic sub, like quick clean.
Yep.
There we go. I went the wrong
yeah.
way. Sorry, folks.
And you can go to town with having a good time with that harmonic note. You can use a fifth or a seventh or
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yep.
2 octaves up.
That's what I was just going to say. It's so much fun to do.
Oh my god, it's wobbling weird.
Yeah, because it's hard. Because I'm doing
right.
the harmonic. Because I can't help it. It's too much fun.
Yeah, another way you can do this exact same thing. So we have 2 oscillators currently playing right next to each other. Another way you can go about doing this, the same thing, is do it as phase modulation or FM, as people know it. I like doing it that way just because if I send it hard, it goes ridiculous. But yeah, a little bit of that. See, you already get that. I like the shape you get out of the FMing it too. It's a little bit fatter.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Get that span up too. I want to see.
Just the ever so slight amount of third octave.
You're getting more harmonics doing it this way for sure. But yeah, I like doing it that way a lot.
Yeah, it's adding just consecutive harmonics. And that's how you make whoops. But that's for another day, folks.
It is.
We'll do
Maybe
a wub episode.
Maybe next week. Who
Maybe
knows?
next week we'll just do a whole. I mean, we could do a whole wub series, baby.
That would be fun.
I could go on and on about wub making.
That would be great for clips.
I love wubs.
Plugin host is not responding.
Oh.
Terminate plugin
That's
sandbox. Terminated.
But yeah, just be creative with it. Focus on
Bitwigs.
fundamentals. Focus on little bits of FM. Maybe use 3 oscillators.
Yeah, it's
Really fine.
I mean, yeah, there's
Totally.
crazy shit that I've tried making subs. But the key thing is you don't want to... Okay, that's not necessarily the key thing. Depending on what you're trying to apply it to, depends on how crazy you should go. Like, if it's just adding weight to the whole track, probably just keep it pretty simple. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. You just need a
Absolutely.
little bit of weight Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
nutty.
Especially if you have some like kind of heavier stuff going on in the like 100 and something 200 range.
Right. If it's right
like
next
you
door.
really,
Yeah.
you really got to be careful with adding any kind of extra harmonics into those.
Yeah, I mean,
ranges.
Yeah.
If
At that point, would it
is
just
the
be better to
situation.
use just a sine wave?
Maybe, but I'll also add a good amount. Let's get back in here and add a little more, just for sake. I'll add it and then I'll just tuck it away. You know,
Totally. Yeah, you can throw a low. You can add a bunch of harmonics and then
And then
put
just-
a low pass filter on it.
Right,
and
I'll kinda-
bring it back to just a sub.
and I'll also all this has been distorted. FYI, that's why it's been also grabbing a little more harmonics. But yeah, I'll kind of distort it into a filter. Then I can also go high up in the octaves and do a quick shoot, and it's not going to be out of control. Like I might just have to flatten it and then turn that one note down maybe or something. Instead of if I didn't have that and I went an octave up, it's like, "Duh!" It's all crazy loud. And you gotta
Yeah, that is
do
a
bunch
thing
of
that
taming.
you have to manage with subs, right?
Yeah,
Is
it's a
when you move that note up the spectrum, once you hit like that 60, 70, 80 range,
Nobody
it starts
talks about it.
singing.
Oh
yeah,
my God!
nobody
Yeah.
talks about it.
Right.
Like a lot of times I'll do just that. I'll work on a filter slope that I like that allows enough of the tonality to come through so it doesn't sound like a low passed sub,
Sure.
you know. And then once I kind of get it to a point where it's still kind of loud and singing too much, but I like the tonality, it's not letting too much through, it's taming it enough, but I get some character, I'll flatten it. And so sometimes even just that one note, I'll flatten it and just cut out that one note and I'll turn him down. And then I'll turn off the MIDI for that one note. So that one note just gets played by this audio
Yep.
that's all tamed and exactly where he should be.
Yeah.
Because
And you can smash that note more.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun with
Yeah.
that. Like that note sings all crazy, smash it a bit more, and then it just is sending all sorts of harmonics through your track.
Right.
And you can turn the volume down and it doesn't
Yeah, it
like
doesn't need to be nearly
feel
as loud.
as hard.
in,
But it is really, really effective. Like
in reference on this span,
in the moment.
like I don't want when I play this octave up note, I don't want it to be this loud. Like that's nice, but now we're too quiet. So we turn this off. No. So way
Like
too loud.
that is like
See,
aggressive.
It's
on
like the
ear.
same amplitude as the low note. It's almost identical.
And it seems so
Yeah.
resonant.
It should be
right, which it
exactly
is because it's just
identical.
one. Yeah.
I mean, not
Right? They're the same oscillation.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, you're right. Which you don't want it to. You want it to kind of
Right.
follow your little curve coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So that's what I do is I just take a real meticulous approach and I just go in because I want those notes. I love those little
Right.
jumps up the sub spectrum. Those are super fun.
Totally.
Especially on like the 4 and right before like a good moment or a break or whatever. It's great. But nobody talks about it like on the internet when you look up like subs like treatment or whatever. Everybody's just
Yeah.
like the fattest subs. And you're like, yeah, but when I play the octave up for a cool effect, it sounds like shit. And nobody is telling me how to handle that. And I just kind of was like, the only way that makes sense is I'm just going to do what I can in the box, so to speak, or in the track, and then just take that one note out of the track and then treat him separately because he needs to be tamed. And a lot of times it's not much. It's just that track has all the octave up notes on it in audio form, and it's quieter. A lot of times that's all I do.
Yeah.
And it just, it's within a decibel of being way too loud or right on the spot. So it's kind of a tricky situation of playing with it till it feels right.
Also, another
Right.
thing you have to just go with song by song. Like
100%.
Yeah.
a lot of the times when I'm using a note that's up there, I want it to be like distinctly like aggressive. So I will treat it even harder and just like make it even more just like, "Duh,"
Right.
but not
Also-
loud,
You
but it sounds loud.
It makes
Yeah.
sense because you want to grab like the character of the body, but you also want to kill the tail. at that same moment almost, and not entirely kill the tail, but you don't want it to just continue ringing, and you don't want it to and just stop immediately. You just want a quicker, and that's why
That's a whole another balance to find.
that's why a lot of my subs, they always end up audio before too long, because
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to deal with these tails, because I
Right.
still want them to kind of taper and nice and stuff like that, and that kind of leads us into 808s, which is a whole other lane. But
Yeah.
when it comes to those higher ones, you want kind of like a little bit less transient, good character and body, and then less tail, because they kind of just got to and then disappear. You don't want them to resonate. But they're so key. They're so key to a fucking
So goddamn
clutch
key.
little line, dude.
Right.
Like, goddamn.
Especially with the high fidelity music that like we're trying to go
Right,
for.
right.
It's like we gotta just have that shit on lock. for
Yeah,
sure.
you can't. There's no excuses.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll put a dynamic EQ, and just have a node pushing down on an area that I know
Yep, I'll do that.
is where it starts.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that works just fine.
Yeah. Totally. Totally.
It works because the dynamic EQ is not reacting to those frequencies when they're not as loud, because like your sub's bringing those frequencies in, even if it's a low end note, it's got a little bit of that, that second harmonic maybe is hitting where that dynamic EQ compression is happening. It's not really touching that when it's down low there, because it's not a loud enough sound. And then you move up, and then it's like, oh, it's too loud now. I will bring it down to this level.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's pretty simple, honestly, and it works.
Yep. In fact, I have this
Also, what's up,
example.
Jet? Welcome back, homie.
Hey, Jet. Missed you.
Yeah, we'll get to your question, man. Just ask it. We'll eventually answer.
So, I'm pretty sure I had this exact example of this that we're talking about. So this is usually my first run. I'll do exactly that. I'll use a mix of pushing down on nodes and dynamic EQ to try and get the second harmonic to kind of tame out. And I know that second harmonic is usually where I'm going to jump to, so it kind of doubles as one. I want to push down that second harmonic, plus when the main harmonic goes up an octave, it's sitting right there most of the time, or in that area. So I'm already kind of carving out that area. So in this bass, it's a little loud. I'm sorry, folks. So you can hear I'm ducking out into there, but I think when we get over here,
How much is that going down by? Like 3 or 4?
10.
Oh, 10.
This
Well,
guy,
yeah, it's like
no, he's going down 3.25.
and
The
the dynamic.
the
It's 10,
dynamic
okay.
is another 5.8. So a total of just about 10.
Around 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because 10 is that line right there.
Nice.
And then I have another one around 300, because 300 is another like pretty muddy range that is. It's like a whole other topic. The 300 range is so
Strange on the ears.
It's such a weird area. I haven't mastered it. I don't really know what's happening there. But you'll notice in this riff I have. So I have these little puffs up. So I wanted this dynamic to only dynamic down on the octave hit and not the second harmonic. I want only this cut to be affecting the harmonic, and then this dynamic part only when it bumps up an octave. So I had to go in here and turn off ondo. So this guy it only pops above. You'll notice how it only reacts when it pops up there. So that's one thing I'll do a lot too, is I'll like really meticulously dial it into what I want it to do. And this turned out pretty good. That's sounding like it doesn't sound too bad.
Yep.
Yeah, it just
It
pops
just
up
sounds-
so
it sounds
nicely.
pretty good on the
Yeah.
ears.
Just like, oh,
You got a little noise in there too.
Yeah, there's some fuzzy. This is some weird
Some fuzzy.
808 I made a while ago.
we played in context.
No. Yeah, here's another 808 that, just as an example, what Dave was talking about, you take that one note and you affect it differently than all the other subs
Totally.
that you have going on. So now I have these ones that are, and this is more 808, but these ones are much more affected. So you get like this nice switch up of things.
Very metallic.
And context is rough, folks, but here's this track I'm working on so you can see what's happening.
Is that SonarWorks on right now?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It's an absolute slapper.
That's a whip, bro.
Dude, that's a slap daddy in the
Almost
making.
400.
Oh my god. Can we get slap daddies in the chat?
All right, do we
So you
want to
got
answer?
a marketing. Yeah. Will you should we read it out loud or
Yep.
Yeah, hang
seems
on.
like
let's,
you're writing us a novel today, Jen. Okay. So we are, funny enough, marketing gurus. So you're in luck today.
Little does anybody know.
little do I know about marketing.
This is financial advice.
This is not financial advice. Can I ask you a question? All right. I'm going to read it in an English accent. Here we go.
Oh, what?
Everybody ready?
Oh,
Let's
let's
go.
go. Let's go.
All right. It's going to be about something music marketing related, or how to spend your music. What? Spread your music. Excuse me.
I like to spend music.
Me
I
too.
like to spin me audio coin.
And
Yeah.
how to gain more fan base.
Yeah.
Dave asks, what's your question? Jet says, so I'm a white male music artist
Very
who
important.
lives in the Philippines. What? He might not be white.
He didn't say white male.
Yeah.
Straight white male.
Right.
Probably not.
And I've tried to observe my audience.
Or not. Doesn't
And
matter.
most of my
Either way.
audience comes from the US. So I'm starting to think right now that I think I should make people from the US as my target audience. That's fair.
Yeah.
Now my question.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Now,
I'm excited for the
my
question.
question
Yeah.
is how can I be successful in the US music market?
Ooh, the golden question.
To be honest with you, I have a lot of plays here in the Philippines because I've
Fucking Star Trek
always
over here.
play my own music in my house. Hell yeah. I keep doing that 100 times. Okay. What up, Poon? Let's fucking go.
Poon
Miss you,
Daddy.
baby.
Poon tunes.
I was actually thinking about you the other day, baby.
Yeah, it's a great question. There's so many
Every day.
variables.
Oh, yeah.
Also, my first question, what kind of style do you make?
That's a good
Because
question.
that's going to make me, if you're making more drum and bassy stuff, definitely focus more on UK stuff because that shit isn't popping over here quite yet, but it will soon. But I don't know. What do you guys? Go ahead.
Guy,
I'm
he
a brown
says.
skinny guy, dude. brown
skinny
skinned guy. He says he's
Wow.
skinned.
Sick. Let's go,
Holy
man.
shit. Somebody get him some medical attention.
Oh, you're skinned.
Skinned.
Who skinned
Don't
you?
skin this
ED.
brown guy.
Don't be skinned. bro.
It's okay. Jets don't need skin anyway. I think you're fine.
Wow. Yeah, it depends. Like, what kind of music are you making is going to play a big role in, like, how I approach this. Although, what you say, most of my audience comes from the U.S. How big is your audience? If you're on Spotify with, like, 32 monthlies, probably don't worry about it.
Oh, that's good for
You know?
America. Future bass,
Pop
Oh,
EDM.
house
let's
music,
go,
pop
let's go.
EDM.
Yeah, that's screaming E EDC.
Dude, honestly, it's gonna be a really, really tricky thing getting that shit to pop real hard around here, at that kind of a distance.
1.9% in SoundCloud. Elaborate. I don't know what that means.
1.9% what?
Yeah, 1.9% U.S.
Of a single fan on SoundCloud?
Yeah, what does that mean? I'm confused. Or are you
Well,
in the top
1
1.9%?
Dude,
Oh,
Because if
that'd
you're
be-
in, if
that'd be
you're in
gnarly.
the top 1.9% on SoundCloud,
fucking.
are you a rapper?
Or maybe you underestimate how shallow that is.
Yeah.
1.9
There's
plays.
so many different ways to approach marketing. But at the end of the day, you got to just do the marketing. Do whatever you can, you know. If you really want to take the fucking like social media approach, you can start doing Facebook ads, fucking Reddit ads, Instagram, TikTok. If you could spread your shit on TikTok, you'll blow up all over the earth.
No
Without a
joke.
doubt.
Side note, 100%. DistroKid, I know a lot of other distribution platforms will let you upload to TikTok. And it's kind of a shot in the dark like anywhere, but if you make a catchy song on
You
TikTok,
probably want to like make a video to go with it to some extent.
right, you kind of want to almost
You
like
gotta try and get the
and get it viral
audio
yourself.
out there
Right.
somehow.
But
Yeah.
if you watch a bunch of those and like figure out what people like to make dances to or videos to, like no joke, there's a lot of guys getting fucking paid off TikTok plays. It's pretty gross.
Have you tried putting your shit on Audius?
Audience
Shout
is
out.
going to start popping off.
Might
yeah.
be a good move, my dude.
Hey, quick switch up to our sponsor for today's episode. It is Audius.
Audience.
They should pay us more money. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real.
Yeah. Dude.
That's
Here's the way I look at marketing yourself and sick. Yeah.
Fuck
good.
yeah.
Good.
Nice. That a boy.
I think the best way to do it is you make tracks.
let's go.
You release those tracks.
Let's go.
And then you make more tracks.
Let's go.
And then you release those tracks.
Let's go.
Until someone gives a fuck.
Yep.
And worry less about your branding and less about what your Instagram or your SoundCloud looks like. If you make a fire ass beat, people will, you know,
Yeah.
Especially if you make
they'll catch on fire.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
If you continue to make fire beats,
That's right.
that's just what happens.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
True. There's gonna be some level of quick catch fire, really popular people out there still. I don't think it's gonna happen as much as it has in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And it will. What was I trying to say? What I don't think you get with that quick come up is you don't get the longevity out of it.
No.
Yeah.
you
it's
get
just
it.
You
a-
can.
You can if you play right, but
You
that's almost
got to
harder.
work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really, really work your ass off if you're going to keep it going. But yeah, you have to definitely. You got to show up knowing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
It's
And
a really important part of it.
a large part about that is being honest with yourself. Like you can't just one, in my opinion, I wouldn't put anything out until it's like absolute fire. But that's just me personally. Like
That's the way we like to do it.
I would work in my basement
At
for
least
fucking 20 years
Us.
until it's like I just put something out and I'm like, yeah, it's absolute fire. And nobody might listen to it, but I know from then on, every song I put out is going to be fucking sick because I've been doing it for 20 years in my basement.
Yeah. And it's the slow burn approach is what we call it. And it's so much classier instead of just trying to be like a fucking clout whore on the internet these days.
Yeah,
And it's like
Nobody wants
We're
that.
almost-
nobody wants to see that. You don't want to be that guy.
it's almost
like-
bouncing back. Like back in like 2013 and like the heydays of like the SoundCloud era, it was like okay to be basically like Instagram slendy and just be like, oh, listen to my mix. I'm shouting out this guy. I'm shouting out this guy. Like we're fucking out here. Fucking I post like 7
Here's my
times a
butt.
day.
But they
Yeah.
did it in like a natural, organic, like genuine way. Whereas now is like people have like a fucking approach to it, and they think they figured out the method
because
of like.
that, because of the 2013s, all the things
Yeah.
that worked, they're all like, oh, let's all use those things that worked.
Yep.
But those don't work anymore because everyone can see through the charade.
Yep.
Everybody just wants good fucking music.
Yep.
And you don't get that by putting the fucking buggy before the horse. You got to make the fire tunes first. And the way to make the fire tunes is to work really fucking hard. And you have to do that alone.
Yeah.
I know it's a bummer, but you kind of have to just be alone and make a bunch of tunes.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to be completely alone. As you can see, we surrounded ourselves with other
That's right.
Find some
Fucking
homies.
find the
to
dope
make
homies
some
who
music
make
with.
beats.
Bounce feedback off each other with.
Right, but you got to just
Yep.
fucking...
Have talks.
Yeah.
You got to not care
great.
about anything but your fucking beats.
Yeah. I'd say
That's right.
Sorry.
Fuck the women.
Fuck the
'em,
women.
Fuck the women.
They got to go
100%.
too.
If you haven't been
It's a bummer.
making music for longer than like 7 or 8 years, you probably really shouldn't be focusing that hard on marketing. Obviously, you know, if
Personally,
you
I agree with that.
if you
Yeah.
want to release a song, if you're that stoked on it, release it. Maybe throw some money into it if you're really feeling it, but
Yeah.
like don't go that hard.
And
Or
don't,
I don't know.
And
Fuck.
don't expect anything. Like,
yeah.
put all the energy you want into releasing some cool stuff and trying to like market yourself, but don't expect a lot almost ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just kind of go into it being like, oh, this is fun. I'm just going to like put myself out there and I'm going to like release some tunes for some people to listen to. I know my buddy Gary released some tunes back in the day, and his biggest audience was Russia. He had like 200 people in Russia that would listen to everything he released. Really random, yeah. But to him, he was like, fire. Sick.
Yeah.
I got 200,
I got 200 people in Russia that
Yeah.
love this shit.
I've got one person in Russia listening to this song 200 times.
I know, right?
Maybe. Either way,
This person in Russia loves this shit.
if you want to release shit, what I call pre-baked, like before you're like, you know, you've been doing it for basically like 7 to 8 years every day, like constantly, then you got to expect to kind of like nothing to really happen from it. You kind of got to expect it to just kind of float around the internet. Like maybe later it'll catch fire randomly if somebody finds it and they think it's cool. But you can't rely on that. You got to just, the only thing you can rely on is how the art makes you feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everything else is kind of hodgepodge.
Yeah. And of course, like as an artist, we all have to think about the marketing side of it and think about, oh, well, I do kind of want to blow up. But at the end of the day, like it's probably a lot healthier mindset to think about it as like, how can I make the best music I can right now? How can I be the best at my craft right now? And like, how can I use my time wisely to make my art just
That's
fucking dope?
Great sentence.
Thank you.
And as far as I can tell from every artist interview and thing like that, everything happened after the artist was like, yeah, I just started like making the music I wanted to make and stopped caring about everything.
Oh, I've heard so many people say that.
And then you're like, oh, and then shit just happened? Like, yeah. Must have been because I was like, my music was honest or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
It is because it's honest, but it's honestly also got a bunch of years behind it.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
There's been some honest work.
There's
put in.
no I'm throwing my sub in here and questioning if it's loud enough or not.
Yep.
That's
None of
not
that.
happening.
No. You know what you're
At that
doing.
point,
You're making
no.
frequencies your
No.
bitch.
That's right.
And that being said, like making frequencies your bitch, that
They make those
does
frequencies your bitch.
that does not mean it's easier. In no way does that mean it's easier. It's still fucking hard. A total of 6 years once 2021 ends. Let's go, baby.
Sick, man.
Now,
I just hit 5
That's
years.
strong, man.
That's what's up.
And you're from the Philippines, so I bet you work harder than us.
You know, that's a fucking good point. We were just actually watching some championship pool before the episode.
Little Efren up in there. Hey, have you met Efren?
Yeah.
That's what people say to me when they hear I'm from California. Have you met Fun?
Right. That's what people.
No, I don't know any celebrities.
That's people when
Who's
they know
Party
I'm from
B?
Denver.
Oh,
Where
fucking.
are those Party B?
Shout out to Master Hook Line.
Cardi B.
What's up, Hookie?
I don't know.
Kind of looks like Cardi B.
Kind of looks like Cardi B. Are they like?
Are they some gangsta bitches or
They
what?
must be some gangster bitches.
Yeah.
Right. I guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll
Yeah,
find
guess
out
we'll find
very
out.
soon.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah.
Feel like I hear something, but I don't know what it is.
That was me farting, actually.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So,
128 fart.
is there anything we can tie up this sub episode with?
Yeah.
That'll kind of.
We're not going to get to 808s today.
No, sorry, folks. We're not getting to 808s.
Nah. We only got a few minutes left.
We're gonna have to do another low end theory episode for y'all.
Yeah. Great question,
That's
though,
right.
Jet. That was a fun one to
Yeah,
talk
actually, we were talking earlier about we're going to have a full episode where we really, really dive into industry stuff and the different ways of going about breaking into whatever kind of random scene you're looking for or whatever.
Right, and we have pretty specific opinions on this, but trust us when we say
we'll open up about the other side of it though, and how people do tend to try and go about it and all
right.
that
No,
stuff.
no. I love
Yeah.
playing devil's advocate because that's why I like my opinion so much. Is because I think it's cooler than all the other possible
Future
opinions.
bass is dead, my dude.
Is Future Bass blowing up in the U.S.?
It died.
It's pretty
a
dead.
couple years
Listen,
ago.
Yeah, like it's still a thing, but not nearly as popular as it was. You're not going to pop off
Yeah,
as a
it's-
future bass dude, more than likely.
It's back down to where Moombahton
What you want
is.
is you want to put future bass sounds into something else.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or do something very, very different with future bass, because everyone just did the same thing forever at every festival show.
Or just
It got
make
boring.
the grime.
What could we point?
Oh
at?
yeah.
What's a good genre that's interesting and is an evolution of future bass that we could point him to, or an artist?
What do they play in the gay clubs?
Big Room. Big Room's coming back. In case
Actually,
you're wondering.
Yeah. I mean,
Big Room is going to come back.
Also, anything
whether
ravey,
anybody likes it or not, we're bringing it
100%.
back.
What would be an evolution of future bass? I don't know. I think
Actually,
Seven Lions.
future bass and big room at the same time. Dong dong dong.
Oh. Yeah.
No, it's not good. It's not a good idea. It's actually basically just big room.
I know,
point.
right? With chords.
Jet, to kind of explain this to you. Shit. Well, what was his name? Flume from Australia. Flume, mate.
Flume Australia.
You know? He came through here, right? Flume came through, right?
Riding on a kangaroo. It was magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
You know? And it was great. Wow, I just
Scottish
it
a
was
little
great.
bit. It's great.
Oh, it was
Fruit
so
came
great.
in.
So
Dropping
he
some
came
future
through
bass.
2014, 2015, I don't know. And like future bass kind of started, and then there was the whole evolution out of there with Bitbird and San Holo and their take on future bass. And it kind of like pittered out, in my opinion, from there. Like there were some good offshoots, but nobody really hit it like the San Holo and the
Yeah.
Flume and the What So Not.
Oh,
Even
What So
though
Not
What So
slammed it.
Not kind of took it left field, in
Yeah.
my opinion. He was like, bass.
And even Flume did, just in a less, different
Yeah.
way, in Flume way.
I like
say,
the way both of them took it, honestly.
I'd
Yeah.
say San
They did a good job.
Holo
Yeah.
went the pop route, and then Flume and What So Not were like, but clubs.
San Holo
Yeah.
went the beta route.
Right. Yeah. We love
Hot
you, San
take.
Holo. We love you, San Holo.
Yeah, sad boy route. We do
But-
love you.
Yeah, and that all happened
it's
like
true.
Want some
pre-COVID.
tea?
That was all.
Yeah.
That was all pre-COVID, and at this point, future bass is like, in terms of like my eyes and my finger on the pulse of electronic music.
In America.
The things that are coming up right now are honestly like kind of breaky things. Like there's some interesting garage style and drum and bass that seems to be leaking through more than usual from
True.
what I hear, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And that's not just being biased from my listening perspective.
It's been a bunch of faster kind of house
I
music
love drum
going
and bass.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things
There's
are getting
lots of-
faster,
there's
more
lots of interesting
experimental.
stuff. Like the whole Night Bass crew with AC Slater. Like that's all kind of fast UK house that started in New York. Mm-hmm. You know?
That's like wave one.
Right. And that started mid 2000s or mid 2010s. It's just kind of taken forever to kind of gain a little bit of traction.
Yeah.
But in terms of like new genres, if you want to hop into like U.S. market from afar, like you're not here to play shows, you just kind of want to get Spotify numbers. Some kind of like bedroom pop, like no fucking joke.
Oh my God.
Like
yeah.
something that can get listed, something
Oh my
that's got a good
God.
melody,
Yeah,
it's
if
got
you can
guitar,
sing,
it's got drums, it's
Or
got
you have a
bass.
vocalist of some sort. You could do something like that. Bedroom
Right.
pop is going to be, I mean, we're talking about some serious skills. Like making good bedroom pop is hard.
Yeah,
It is
so
not
hard.
easy. I like making bedroom pop, so I know. There's, I would say, like, look at like Spotify top, like popular songs, and go looking around at what people are doing with that, and kind of try and jump on a train. If you want to do something like more kind of clickbaity, just get get the system moving.
Yeah.
Real quick. I don't know.
Check out Hyperpop. It's like a new kind of, I don't know, it's like what the
Hyperpop
kids,
is so
it's
goddamn
what
wild.
the kids are doing these days. It's basically, think of like pop punk without the shitty vocals.
And Nightcore.
And yeah, I guess there's like some Nightcore in there. It's like, it's like really distorted. It's got like some punk vibes. M Nightcore.
It's a specific style.
Hyper pop, I would say, is like probably an easier get into than bedroom pop, because it's still bedroom poppy, but it's like more of just like fuck you, distortion and saw waves, you know. And then you don't really have to be a good singer. You can kind of just if you have lyrics that are like kind of catchy and you're moody, you know, you seem like an angsty teenager. Pretty sure you'll get some place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We actually, like, weeks ago, one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up, yeah.
Oh, you're good?
We did a feedback thing, and this guy came in, and he was making future bass, and he showed us one of his YouTube songs, and it had, like, 3 million plays on it, or whatever. So, like, you can still get plays on it, but, like...
You can pay for them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're trying to go for, like, the household name of future basses, like, I don't see many people making it to that tier anymore.
And, yeah...
But you can still make that music and make money from it.
If you're trying to be like a Griffin
or a Pegasus,
you would have already been there. Like those guys who are like Griffin and like Charlie Puth. You know, you just kind of grow up naturally just writing songs and like being a fucking eccentric artist kid.
Yeah.
And you just kind of fall into it. And if you're not there by the time you're like 20, 21, guess what? You're in the working class. And you got to work hard.
It's going to be a grind, motherfucker.
That's right.
Now, anecdote with that is you can still surpass all those people by working hard.
Yeah.
But you just have to work hard.
It's about drive.
That's
it's about
the one.
power.
We say hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. And that's it, folks. We're going to end with that.
That's how you end
The Rock.
us Twitch stream. Oh, we should rate someone.